What's going on? Um, so, I keep getting like messages on my YouTube channel about, do I like the Renegade better? Do I like the Scrambler better? Am I going to race one or the other? And I'm getting a lot of it on my Facebook and my Instagram. So I figured I'd address it here. So I don't want it to make it sound like I'm bashing anyone, because I'm not. I don't have anything bad to say about anyone in the ATV community, and that's the God's honest truth. If you ask me something about drag racing, or Mustang tuner shops or LSX tuner shops, I'd be able to give you a pretty stark opinion, but not with ATVs. Everyone's been pretty nice to me, except one guy, actually two people, and the one guy was just not helpful, and that's his prerogative. So, first and foremost, they aren't that different. Okay, the Scrambler is easier to drive. So if you're watching this and you're like, "Hey, which one should I buy?" So if you're just starting out with ATVs, buy the Scrambler. It's more forgiving. It's easier on your body, or at least so far, right? The 850 is fast, but it's not fast enough to compete at GNCC. At a local, I'm sure it'll be great. Or you can make the 850. I hear you can put like heads on them, and there's a cam kit, and you can put higher compression pistons in there. I don't know if you can engine swap them. I don't know what's involved with changing out the ECU and all that other kind of stuff. But then again, so I took all the stickers off because Jason Fleming from Dirt Decals takes very good care of me, and I always like to rock his stuff. And I just washed the Renegade. Obviously, I haven't washed the Scrambler yet from I drove this one at what was that, at Pennsylvania, Mason-Dixon. So I can tell you that one of the things I was worried about was the ass end of these getting hippity-hoppity. So I've seen videos, I've seen it in person, where these will pogo you off. Because if you look at the way the rear suspensions are, that's a true independent rear suspension. This is also an independent rear suspension, but it has, what is it called? A swing arm, I think it's called. Not swing arm. I don't know what it's called. You guys correct me in the comments. So, and then as I saw some video of myself being slow and being followed, and the rear end of this thing does kind of jump around, but you don't notice it when you're on the bike. And if you do notice it, it corrects itself pretty easily. If it doesn't, your suspension's not set up. Now, on this bike right here, this has the Axis shocks that are like the uber most expensive one. And again, so this is Rick Checo's bike. If you don't know who Rick Checo is, he's one of the better manufacturers for parts for both Can-Ams and Scramblers. All of his parts are high quality, they're legitimate, and Rick's just a hell of a nice guy. So this is his the two bulldozer bumpers that Rick makes, and he set up this bike. And the reason that I got the Renegade wasn't because I was like, Polaris sucks or anything like that. I got the Renegade because this is the next step up for me. Was the cheapest alternative for me to go fast next year, right? So in order for me to like get another 1000 Scrambler, I have to buy another one. And I'm going to be honest here, it is more expensive to make one of these fast than it is one of these. But you get the trade-off of ride comfort, okay? This is set up by Rick Checo is a pro rider. This is a pro bike. This supposedly was a pro bike, but I don't know. I'm thinking no. My third bike is in the toy hauler still, because I brought that to the Ironman, because I had Rick Checo do some work I had Rick do some work to that bike, like adjust the throttle. He put a skid plate on there for me, a couple other things. But I've worked with 2 shock companies this year, and I got vastly different customer service from both of them. And I won't go into detail, but so I work with Derisi now. So Derisi's are the guys who do my shocks. I got the Fox Podium RC, I think they're RC2s, and for my scrambler. And as you can see, like in my Tomahawk video, the bike was completely out of control. Camp Coker, I was fighting a bike the whole time. I had the shop that I had bought the shocks from adjust the shocks for me professionally at Wild Boar. It did okay at Wild Boar. As I continued to get faster, I outgrew the shocks. Camp Coker, the bike was hard to handle, and that was probably arguably my best race. And I just needed more support and someone who had more experience with scramblers. So I now have a new set of shocks that are going on on my scrambler. I'll probably be selling one of my scramblers. So if you like my videos and you're looking for one, let me know. You can see, obviously, I'm honest about everything that I do to them. So I'll probably be getting rid of one of them. You know, obviously all the parts kind of go with it. But so the 2014 has a lower ratio transmission than my 16, but my 16, the power steering's better. The Polaris power steering is absolute garbage. Even though it's easier to drive, the power steering sucks. The Can-Am, I unfortunately, you know, you learn through mistakes, and at the Ironman, I was racing the whole race on DPS minimum. I just found that out about 15 minutes ago. So, you know, hey, next time I'm at the starting line, make sure that the power steering's at its max, because I can definitely feel it in my back and my biceps and triceps from trying to fight the bike the whole time. I can tell you that another thing that I learned this season is get a directional tire. I think what happens, and I'll probably someone will probably yell at me the next time I'm at GNCC, but these tires, like I see pros and stuff with the Dirt Commanders and some of the non-directional tires, and they didn't work for me. Maybe they work for them, or maybe they're just so good on the bike that they overcome the inability of the tire to perform. Now, I'll swear every day, twice on Sunday, that the Dirt Commander is superior in the sand. It really likes the sandy trail, and a lot of the other Polaris drivers, like when we're together, we all kind of say the same thing, that the Dirt Commander is great in the sand, but you need a directional tire for a scrambler, especially at least on the front. And I've converted guys that are faster than me. Another thing, the difference between these two bikes is that this one's way easier to clean. So if you're one of these guys who it means the most to you not to do as much pressure washing, then this is the bike for you. This one took me about half the time it does for me to get under them floorboards on the scrambler. But I'm going to come up with some mods. Now, some guys, Sean Stratton, doesn't run floorboards on his. He doesn't have Nerf bars either, so God forbid if he ever hits a stick. But I've seen some guys who I didn't know run with altered floorboards. Again, Jason Fleming has always provided me with a superior sticker kit. The sticker kit that I took off of this bike, I don't know how long it was on there, but again, I had another sticker from 2017 sticker kit on there, and it sucked. get with Jason Fleming at Dirt Decals, and I mean, his designs are amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to work with orange, and he seems to always knock it out of the park for me. And like, here's a good example. Like, I did pressure wash this thing, you know. So, yeah, I can't think of anything else. I went through a whole tank of gas in that, at the Iron Man. I think these are a little bit more fuel efficient, but then again, I wasn't near as fast on it. If you have any questions or you need help, you can either friend request me on Facebook. My name's Keith Fedora. You can look at the GNCC results. Or you can always just leave a message in the comments. I tend to get to those nowhere near as fast. I'm in no way an expert on either one of these bikes, but I do know the guys to get in contact with. The scrambler side of things with Polaris is a lot more difficult because Polaris has no involvement with XC racing when it comes to quads anymore. For whatever reason, they don't support their riders. We've had a few instances this year where we were looking to get some engineering support from Polaris, like not money or not anything extra other than just, hey, you know, we need some help here in the situation, especially in regards to the front diff. And Polaris just told us to take it to a dealer. That doesn't work for me. So if that's an issue for you too, if you don't have good dealership support, because I don't have my dealer. I have a dealer around me that's like, I mean, it's more expensive than a car dealership, you know. So that's not an option for me. It's already expensive to race one of these all season, and then to have to take it to the dealer in order to get customer support. That's the wrong answer for me. Can-Am is at at every XC race. And that's part of the reason that you see so many pros riding Can-Ams. And I can, from the rumor is that there will be no pros, or at least, you know, maybe one riding a scramble next year. So I think the UXC guys are dipping out, or they're I don't know, joining that new series that supposedly is the new hotness. So I like both bikes. I'm never married to a badge. I was like that with my drag cars. I'm like that with now. If it's fast, I'll drive it. You know, it doesn't matter to me. There's a kid this year who was eating my lunch all year long, who was on a Grizzly, and no one runs a Grizzly. So, you know, he's just a good rider. So, unfortunately for me, I'm not as good. So, but I'm getting there. You know, I'm trying, or at least at the minimum, I'm trying real hard. And the important part is that I'm having fun, and I have some really good friends that I've met through ATV racing. So anyway, so that's how it is. It's the new bike is a Renegade. I think it's an 800, and I've got some minor adjustments to make it mine, including getting rid of this hideous ass yellow. I can't stand it. And yeah, yeah. So, you know, wish me luck. And then again, if you have any questions or if there's anything I can do for anybody, let me know. Leave a comment. So, all right. Thanks for the support. I'll talk to you all later.